I remain my humble self, Pharmacist Ezeh Ambrose Igwekamma, the National Chairman of our Social Committee for Pharmacists of Nigeria. Here with me is the National Secretary, Pharmacists of Mokefa, actually, National Executive Committee that are here present once again. Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, good afternoon once again. I feel that it's very important for today. The world is marking a drug abuse and illicit drug day, today being 26th June 2025. The global community comes together once again to observe International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. A day is set aside by the United Nations to raise awareness of the devastating consequences of drug abuse and illicit trafficking on individuals, families, communities, and the nation. As the national chairman of the Social Committee for Pharmacists of Nigeria, we are very, very close to the community. We join millions around the world to reaffirm our commitment to the fight against drug abuse and to call for urgent, coordinated, and sustained action to combat this public menace in our dear country. The theme of this year is very clear. The evidence is clear. Invest in prevention. Resonate deeply with the vision of ACPN. It reminds us that we must shift our focus from reaction to prevention. As a community pharmacist, trusted and accessible healthcare provider in the front line, we witness firsthand the silent crisis of substance abuse in our community, especially among youths. And that is why ACPN for more than a decade had demonstrated a concern on massive awareness campaign through our national anti-drug abuse competition among students in secondary school nationwide. And the essence of this annual competition is for prevention and also to disabuse the minds of the younger generation against the consequences of drug abuse, which align with the same with the UNODC strategic plan for substance abuse. If I agree with me today that the reports from the UNODC in Nigeria, 2 among 20 people are currently engaged in drug abuse, and the most common drug Nigerians abuse is commonly known as tetrahydrocannabinol. In a layman's name, you can call it cannabis. Cannabis is what they normally know. And last year, in our competition among the students, we compelled the students to write a letter to the president of the nation, Ametu, on the prevalence and the menace of drug abuse and profess a solution to that. And I believe that that letter will be shared today, because we know the consequences, the sequelae of drug abuse among the youths. Every tablet without prescription, every codeine, cough, diverted, every hard drug traded irregularly is not just a crime, it is a threat to our collective future. Drug abuse fuels mental health. There's a lot of mental disorder, mental cases here and there. Crime, school dropout, family breakdown, premature deaths, a crippled dreams, and sabotage national development. ACPN therefore call on all stakeholders, government, civil society, security agencies, religious and traditional leaders, parents and educators to intensify their role in prevention, education, and early intervention and rehabilitation. That's why ACPN, we are supporting a bill being sponsored by Honorable Senator Ned Nwoko to establish the National Institute on Drug Awareness and Rehabilitation. We find out that most of the rehabilitation centers within the nations are not something to write home about. And we need that kind of bill if it can be build among 6 political zones, geopolitical zones, to be able to help those that are already living in drug abuse, substances and consequences that are aligned to that. We will further also highlight the following action points on contribution to drug-free Nigeria. Strengthen the regulatory environment. The ACPN urged relevant agencies to enforce strict control on distribution and sales of controlled substances. We must close the link ponds that allow prescription drugs to enter into the illicit market. So I wonder what the security agencies, what they do is alarming and is unacceptable that most of those drugs enter through our porous borders, and people that have will commonly find it within the market where they don't supposed to find it. Also empower community pharmacists, because we are the front port of call in communities. As far as we are concerned, community pharmacists must give community pharmacists a central role in identifying early signs of drug misuse and providing counseling, referral and rehabilitation support. We must also be involved in school-based and grassroots education. We want to partner with NDLA to do a collaborative workshop so that we can detect. Community pharmacists have every capacity for early detection, for early prevention, because we believe in preventive therapy. Public campaign is also very, very. We continue in our annual event, in our competition, as we are going to go in Oka this year, Anambra State. We are still going to do our annual competition drug abuse among students. So at this juncture, I say it is a call for national development, and it's a call concern that every stakeholders will begin to speak about, so that we can help the generation to come that's going to be the future of this country. Thank you. Long live Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you and God bless.